All right, so this one is one of the most important tabs on your Pledge Manager. It's called the balance sheet. You need it to keep the situation under control when you are counting the actual print runs of things that you're gonna do. Because if you remember, when we watched the projection, I told you that the amount that you're gonna see here, the tier production cost, it's just what you're gonna spend if you were able to produce exactly the amount that the projection is telling you. But that's almost never the case, so you also need some kind of balance sheet in a way that you can keep all the kind of expenses that you're gonna have under control. So first of all, let's start with the nice part where you're counting your incomes. At the moment, there are four fields. The first one is nominal Kickstarter income. So here I put the number that you will get if in the first tab you will get the lower number of backers in this window in the projection by the number of average pledge goal. This is just an automatic calculation. I don't think it will be accurate because sometimes you don't even have something in this price range and you are probably aiming to have a higher average pledge goal here, but this will change according to the numbers you put here. So what I suggest you to do is that when you are in the balance sheet, so this is calculating from those cells, but you can write here the number you want and you can see different scenarios. So for example, okay, what if we get 50,000 in the Kickstarter, then what happens? I think it is easier if you actually put numbers that you're comfortable with there. Then according to the number you put here, this field will calculate what you're actually gonna get in your bank account after the fees of Kickstarter. And these are some hypotheses of what you could get if you do the Pledge Manager part right and the late pledge part right. This is my experience. You can get up to 27% of the nominal in the Pledge Manager afterwards. So this means that people that already are your backers are adding new items, or they are paying their shipment fees, and they can amount to up to 27%. So this is a very high number. I don't think that all campaigns have this high number, but I want to be realistic. However, as mentioned, this is calculated automatically, but you can put the real number there to see when you have the numbers for your campaign. And then the late pledge, it's usually very low. What you can get with a late pledge, in my case, was about 1.4%. So do not count on those money. It's just to round the whole amount. But most of the people that want to pledge, they pledged beforehand. Then there's a section where you need to put your programmed expenses. It's really hard to make a generic one that works for everybody. So I put some items that might work for you, but feel free to add rows here and with the proper numbers. So I put art, marketing internal, which is the money that you're spending for your own marketing. Then let's say that you use a Pledge Manager. You want to use maybe various services of Backer Kit. One service is called Launch, which makes sense only if you already did a campaign, so maybe you don't need this. There's the Pledge Manager goes according to how well your campaign is doing. Here I put 4,000. The marketing by Backer Kit is the service they provide. You give them the ads, they run it to their communities, and then they also take an extra percentage on the sales that they're actually run, on the sales that they actually make running your ads, so you could count those as well. I put like expenses of graphic design separate from art because maybe there are two different people that are helping you. Something you need to pay Ochor or other contributors. What does it cost to make the video voiceover for your video? Actually, this is a minus sign here. Translation for your game. How much does it cost to edit the text in your game? So let's move to the next block. The next block is bureaucracy. Bureaucracy is everything that you need to have in order before you can start shipping around the world. For example, I put here, because this is something that we need to work with. We need to, when you, for example, shipped from Europe to the US, you need to register as importer of record. You need this license, and I think it's a yearly. You need to renew it, so it has a cost even before you can start shipping the stuff. So I put this cost here. Of course, please keep in mind that you need to customize this according to your campaign and what you're gonna do with your items. UK customs, this is something we need to go through. So how much do we actually need to pay them to get the goods through? EORI number, if you don't have it, you need it to sell in Europe, in other countries that are not the one where you reside. UK registration for VAT. If you're not registered, then you need to pay a fee for registration, but then you also need an accountant, which you need to pay monthly, and here I would put the price for a year. OSS registration is something that you need when you're selling after the campaign, maybe to people that are resident in Europe and not in your country, and you need that registration because you're going to pay the VAT there. And then here I have also two cells for the amount of VAT I need to pay to OSS and the amount of VAT I need to pay UK, because UK is not in Europe anymore now. So yeah, it's this is pretty depressing, but it's something you need to do. And the only good thing about this is that once you've done it, half of these cells you don't need to pay them again. So once it's done it, you can keep using all the registrations you've done for even future campaigns. Then fulfilling, how much do you plan to pay for shipping the stuff around? As you've seen here, 27% is very high, but keep in mind that most of what people are paying are shipping expenses that you need to pay to someone else then to get them their packages. So this number here will be very close to this number here. And here I just put partner expenses, if taking for granted that someone else will take care of all the shipping for you. But then if you're going to do some shipping yourself, you might have a couple of rows here like partner expenses and your own expenses for this kind of work that needs to be done. The next block we're going to see is the complete picture of what's going to happen. So this is how much you're going to get in total. This is what your programmed expenses are. This is how much you're going to pay for bureaucracy, and this is how much you're going to pay for fulfilling. And then to this thing you need to add the cost of production. Here I put some random numbers. So if for the item 1 you need 2,450 units, it's going to cost you this amount. What does it include? Here you can put some notes and what is the cost per copy or bundle of that specific thing. It's all calculated here, and at the end this is how much money you're left when everything is done. So what you really want to do here is that this number is positive at the very least, but probably if this number is so low, you need to make sure that this number here is higher.